Hey YouTube, it's Don here. I just wanted to kind of touch on a couple things that I guess I've been thinking about, and had a really cool conversation with a really good guy and someone who is very honest. And just talking to him, I mean, it was just such a good conversation, and I'm so glad that we were able to link up because I feel like he's just a good dude, and that's the practical nurse. And I really like his videos because he's just really honest. He's not on the take, as he would say. And there are a lot of people out there that, profess that they're not and talk about, all these different things. And really they are. And they really are getting paid a lot of money to promote different rifles, different pistols, different shotguns. And that's fine. Make your money, do your thing. But I just think it's very deceitful. And anyway, me and the practical nurse had a really nice conversation about it. We'll probably have many more. Um, but anyway, thanks again for that. And I don't know. I want you guys to understand something. This rifle is a budget-minded rifle. I mean, I have it. Obviously, it's $1,000 AK. You know, it's kind of, I wouldn't say middle of the road. I'd say it's a higher end AK. I was able to, kind of save my money and get, the rifle that I wanted. But I mean, if you look at it, I mean, it's got a Hogue grip. That's about, I don't know, 30 bucks. It's got a Magpul Zukov folding stock. That's about 100 bucks. Got a primary arms red dot. That was like 280 or something like that. It's got a ALG Defense trigger. That was like 70. Um, the recoil spring is ALG recoil spring as well. Um, and then you got the Spikes Dynacomp muzzle brake. That was, I don't know. I think I paid like 90 bucks for it, or 100 bucks or something like that. So I mean, obviously, the way I had this rifle, well, and the sling was, I don't know, like 60 bucks. But obviously, I had this rifle set up for functionality, and that was one thing that me and the practical nurse kind of were talking about, is that people go out and they spend all this freaking money on stuff that they don't need. Like, you don't need a $1,200 Trijicon ACOG. You don't need a six to the moon and back Leopold scope that's going to cost you, $2,000. And we also talked about you know guys going out and blowing money on these rifles and that they don't need. I mean, we both agreed that you should really just stick within, not only your means, but what's going to be available when things go down. 9mm 45, 7.62 by 39, 5.45 by 39, 5.56, 308. Stay away from all that other shit. I mean, that's cool. If the 6.8 SBC is, a better version of the 5.56, but that's not going to be around when things go down. And if it is, it's going to be, super fucking expensive. So that's something to think about. And I mean, if you guys reload, that's totally different. I mean, that kind of gives you more options. But if you don't, and you're on a budget like me and a lot of other people, stick to what's out there. Stick to what you can afford. You don't need a big fancy, FN Scar Heavy. That's $3,000. You don't need, a Rifle Dynamics AK. You just don't. And I know, like, there's people that promote these companies because they're on the take from them. And I'm not saying that they're not being honest. I mean, they are telling the truth about how amazing those weapons are, but do you need it? No. I mean, I had a Wasser, amazing, love my Wasser. I kind of wish I still had it, but that helped me get this rifle. So, and this is the rifle that I'm going to stick with, And I was telling the practical nurse, that at the end of the day, I really dig the AK. It's the rifle that I'm going to pick up, especially, if we have some sort of economic crash or something crazy happens or whatever. This is the rifle I'm sticking with. because I know what this rifle is capable of, and I also know what I'm capable of with this rifle, and that's a quarter-mile shot, out to 425 yards. But we also talked about, is that a shot you're going to take? No, it's not. And you're an idiot if you do take that shot, because no, you're doing a couple things wrong. One, you're probably not that good of a shot anyway to put someone down at that far at that distance, just because there's so many factors that come into a 400 plus yard shot. If you don't know what you're doing, wind, trigger control, breathing, all these things really come into play. At that distance, especially, in anything past that, especially with 5.56 or AK-47 or AK-74, which all three rounds are more than capable of hitting targets out to 500 yards with, no problem. So, but it's just, would you take that shot? And if you say yes, then okay, you're whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'll just let you take that shot, and unfortunately, you'll probably regret taking that shot, because there's a couple things that happen. If you take a shot like that, unless you know for 100% sure that you can hit something like that, and you have a round that's going to do that, and it's not going to be potentially disrupted by wind or different things, and you have like a range finding scope, or you just um, maybe, but even then, I've been overseas multiple times, and if we didn't have to engage the enemy because maybe we didn't like how the distance or anything like that, we'd get closer and we'd observe them. We kind of would just observe until we felt like, okay, now we can hit them hard and we're going to put them down. Or we'd call an airstrike. But obviously, as a civilian, you can't do that. So, it's you got to think about preservation of life. So that's just something to think about. If you think you're fucking John, Ricky Recon Sniper Bubba high speed low drag secret squirrel guy, and you can make shots consistently out to 425 plus yards, by all means, do your thing. But I guarantee you, you're not going to be around for very long, because someone's going to sneak up on you, and they're going to get you. A lot of things happen when you shoot a rifle, especially in a gunfight. You know, you give away your position, the enemy now knows where you are, so you got to make your hits count, and pushing your rifle close to its limits, at least for an AK, because for 500 yards, I wouldn't want to take a shot past that, and 0 to 300 yards all day long is where this rifle really shines, and it hits insanely hard, and it does more than a 5.56 as far as damage, and I've seen it. I don't care what your guys' ballistic charts say. That gives you that gives you a starting point. This rifle is very capable. So if you're out there running your mouth saying this, that, or the other, that's on you, man. Hey, cool, good for you. But if my question to you guys are, have you ever been shot by an AK or shot at by an AK-47? Probably not. So that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. I've been running my mouth for too long. But anyway, enjoy your Saturday. And I'll talk to you guys later. Next time I shoot this gun, I'll have another update for you. Semper Fi.